I like the color blue. No reason, just a fun color to look at when I'm bored. Just like my walls, and also this radical blue guy that's been in my room for God knows how long. I don't know how he got here. Anyways, here's Mega Man 8 for the PS1. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, folks. Ah, Mega Man, the star child of Capcom, next to Ryu and Monster Hunter. But yeah, when you think of Capcom, you're probably gonna think of Mega Man as Capcom's sort of golden child. It was kind of one of their first big hits when it came to gaming with Mega Man 1 on the NES. Sure, it's not as polished as something like Mega Man 2, which, to be fair, isn't as good as future Mega Man games, but in a way it paved the way for a series that people like me actually enjoyed. Because of the popularity of Mega Man, the series spawned multiple spin-offs, multiple TV shows, a ton of merch, fan games, fan content, the list goes on. I can make an entire video on the types of things the Mega Man series has spawned since it first debuted. Mega Man, in my heart, will always be one of the first notable game franchises I actually loved. After Kirby, and Angry Birds, and Mario, and okay, I think you get the point by now. But yeah, aside from that, Mega Man genuinely changed my life when I first started enjoying the games. Sure, it only took me around a year or so to get back into, but oh man, the hours I sunk into the original Legacy Collection on the 3DS will always take me back. And then I played both classic Legacy Collection games on the Switch and everything changed. Sure, I was only 14 at the time when the games were released for the Switch, which is insane to think about actually. I was that young when they were released on the Switch? But the memories I had playing those games were phenomenal, and when the X Legacy Collection was announced for all platforms, including the Nintendo Switch, oh, you know I had to be there. I did it. I became a Mega Man fan, and I was happy. So what happened? I don't know, I guess I grew out of my Mega Man phase. Sure, I still get hyped for Mega Man content, but I guess I'm just not as active as I used to be. It was fun being a Mega Man fan, gushing about Mega Man X4 on a daily basis, communicating with other Mega Man fans. Sure, I'm part of a few Mega Man communities nowadays, but it'll probably never live up to the hype that was my Mega Man brainrot era from 2016 through 2020. But now, I have one more question. What in God's name does this have to do with Mega Man 8? Well, Mega Man 8 is the 8th entry in the Mega Man series, released in North America for the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation in 1997. For some reason, it was never released for the Nintendo 64, which is kinda strange considering we have 2D platformers on the Nintendo 64 like Mischief Makers, Yoshi's Story, and actually that's all I can really name on the top of my head. Although, isn't it strange that Capcom can fit the entirety of Resident Evil 2, a 2-disc game that takes up over 700 megabytes across both discs, into a Nintendo 64 cartridge, but not Mega Man 8, a game that is lighter in size? Just a bit of food for thought for you. But yeah, Nintendo console owners wouldn't get the chance to play Mega Man 8 up until the GameCube era with the Mega Man Anniversary Collection in 2004. Mega Man 8 was eventually released to other platforms outside of the original console release, including the PS3, PSP, PS Vita, and eventually through the Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 for all modern platforms. I've already beaten Mega Man 8 on the PS Vita, so the only logical thing to do would be to review Mega Man 8 via the Legacy Collection 2 on the Nintendo Switch, since it's kind of the most accessible thing to do. Alright, I think I've said enough about this game. Let's try jumping into it and giving it a shot. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Let's hope it's good. We're already about 8 games in. Surely Capcom can find a way to screw us over, right? Right? Come on, don't leave me hanging, right? Right? We start up the game and we get this really awesome looking anime styled intro with Mega Man's previous endeavors, fighting against robot masters like Guts Man, Quick Man, Fair Man, Charge Man, Tomahawk Man, and Shade Man. We also get to see a lot of other characters. I love this intro a lot. It's probably not as good as other game intros, but damn it, it's still good nonetheless. I'd even go as far as to say that even if it doesn't explain the story like other Mega Man games, it still grabs my attention significantly. And then we have the title screen. Welcome home, old buddy. This, in my opinion, is probably the most aesthetically pleasing title screen in the entire series. Hell, I could go as far as to say this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing Mega Man games I've ever played. The whole vibe I get from this game is sort of a nostalgic and cozy vibe that I've never felt in my life. The memories of first playing this game through the Anniversary Collection on my GameCube are ones I'll never forget. But yeah, if you're expecting me to gush about this game, you'd kind of be wrong in a way. So with that said, let's start Mega Man 8, what is often considered to be the worst game in the classic series. Which, to be fair, Mega Man 8 is a weird way of saying Mega Man 5, because Mega Man 5 is absolute dog water, but I'm getting a hold of myself. Let's just jump into this. We press start and we get this anime-styled cutscene of two robots fighting in space, one good and one bad. Both robots are seen headed down to Earth, where meanwhile Mega Man and Bass are fighting over something. I don't know. And
Hey Zach, why must I fight you? We are not enemies.
did I forget to mention the voice acting in this game is bad? You probably heard it from other YouTubers, but I thought I'd give my 2 cents worth. Mega Man 8's voice acting isn't the worst I've heard. At least I can understand what the characters are saying. Sometimes. The voices get quiet sometimes, many pronunciation errors, such as the infamous Dr. Wowie scene, screaming. It's all here, in this game. And this isn't the last time I'll probably ever encounter it. Anyways, Mega Man makes his way toward this island where Dr. Light tells him a strange energy is being detected. And now we finally start the game. And you know what? For a PS1 game released in North America in 1997, I kinda dig the vibe of this opening stage. It sets the tone well with what we are getting ourselves into. During this stage, we're given a new weapon, kicking. Yes, Mega Man now has the opportunity to kick a ball around. It can be useful in some scenarios and can also be used as another form of mobility for Mega Man, where if the timing is right, Mega Man can gain some sort of extra jump height from the ball. Though it's like one of the only times the ball is ever useful, you're probably not going to be using this weapon a lot, which is what I would have said if you didn't have to fight the opening stage boss. After that, Mega Man encounters Dr. Wily, who takes some evil energy away to powerful robot masters to do his bidding. Now, what is evil energy, you might be asking? Basically, evil energy is just a sort of thing that infects robot masters to become evil. It's kinda hard to explain. Although, going back to the robot master thing, yeah, there's only 4 robot masters, which is strange to know, but whatever, let's get into the first boss. But first, groove break. Remember how I said Mega Man 8 is one of the most aesthetically pleasing Mega Man games to be made? Yeah, I'm not lying. Mega Man 8 also features the best stage select screen in the classic series. Kinda. I'm not a big fan of the formatting, not that I hate it, but hey, the background, the music, the globe to indicate where each robot master is located are all nice touches to an otherwise decent menu format in my opinion. Alright, enough goofing around in the menu, it's time to go into the robot master stages. I don't know how to feel about them. On one hand, yeah, the Robot Master stages each have their own unique gimmick, which can be cool. On the other hand, I'm sorry, but Frostman's stage's gimmick can burn in hell for all I care. It's not the fact that the stage is too hard for me. It's the fact that listening to jump, jump, slide, slide thousands of times is really infuriating. It's an indicator that exists, yes, but I'm sorry, it's the voice that always gets me annoyed. After that train wreck, there's the other stages. Tenga Man's stage, in my opinion, is probably the best of the bunch. I like how one section becomes a dedicated shoot-'em-up styled stage. It really spices things up. Surely it won't be used later in the game, making it so much worse, right? Right? Don't do this to me again, right? Clown Man and Grenade Man kinda don't have a gimmick. Though I guess if you consider the teleporting blocks in Clown Man's stage a gimmick, yeah sure, pop off I guess. In classic Mega Man fashion, you're gonna have the usual suspects, right? Wrong, E-Tanks are gone, Eddie's gone, no rush adapters, not even the usual rush jet or rush coil. So what are you left with? Rush returns, but in the form of janky powers that are found after beating certain mini-bosses throughout the game. Rush Question will cause Rush to choose a random item for Mega Man to use, whether it be a weapon energy or free health. It can be useful in some scenarios, yes, but at other times Rush will just do fuck all and just sleep. Rush Bomber, where Rush comes in to cause mayhem. I never really found a good use for this, to be honest. Hell, I never even used it in the game once. Rush Bike, another rush power I never really found a use for besides a certain bolt that can be found in Clown Man stage. And Rush Charger, possibly the only useful one to be honest. It's like Rush Bomber, but you're swarmed with healing items and weapon energy, completely free of charge. What happened here? Rush went from being a loyal companion to whatever this is. Sure, he's still loyal sometimes, but the fact we're 8 games in makes me feel like this is a complete downgrade from other Rush iterations. Jesus Christ. In place for all the missing items, we have Dr. Light's shop. I will admit some of these upgrades are really good, like the arrow shot, which replaces Mega Man's charge shot for a much more efficient shot that spreads out when hitting an enemy, which can be useful for shielded enemies such as Sniper Joes. And then you have abilities such as climbing ladders faster. You can get it, but is it really worth it at the end of the day? Now you might be wondering how to get these upgrades. Throughout the game, you'll find 40 bolts littered throughout the game's levels. Since there's a limited amount of bolts, it'll be impossible to get all the upgrades in the game. So please, I beg of you, use your bolts wisely. Once all 4 Robot Masters are defeated, Mega Man returns to Dr. Light and has to head out again, when Duo, one of the robots who fell down to Earth, escapes from Dr. Light's lab and heads towards a mine shaft. Mega Man wastes no time following him there. After a fight, Mega Man and Duo discover Dr. Wily's hideout, but Duo explains that before Mega Man can even enter Dr. Wily's hideout, Mega Man has to find 4 other Robot Masters who hold the key to the barrier that protects Dr. Wily's hideout. Here we go again, back onto the stage select screen. Mega Man now has to fight 4 other Robot Masters, those being Swordman, Astroman, Searchman, and Aquaman.
Aquaman, but you can call me handsome guy.
No words here. But yeah, you really thought that Mega Man 8 wouldn't have 8 Robot Masters. You'd be wrong. I will admit, one thing I like about Mega Man 8 that previous games do is that the game allows you to re-enter previous boss stages to obtain bolts or do whatever in order to get the upgrades you couldn't get before. On top of that, new items are introduced into Dr. Light's shop as well. Although it's nothing too important to note, the game is still relatively flawed, even with 4 new Robot Masters after the first set. But yeah, once that's all said and done, we move on to the Wily stages of this game. They suck. Wily Stage 1. I know I said snowboarding sections weren't a pain to me once you get used to them, but god, it's so annoying. I'd go as far as saying this is one of the worst Wily stages thus far, especially with the boss and how its only weakness is the Mega Ball. Aiming the Mega Ball in this game is hard as balls, to be honest. Huh, get it? As for the other Wily stages, there's a shmup in Wily Stage 2, which isn't that bad. You fight Bass in Wily Stage 3, and also a Slime Devil, and Wily Stage 4. It's a boss rush that's not bad in any way. Part of me makes me glad that when you die in this game, all your ammunition gets refilled. After the boss rush, it's time for the final boss against Dr. Wily. Which actually isn't that bad once you get the pattern down. Make sure to use the flame sword against him though, it's pretty useful against the first phase. Once that's done, Dr. Wily gets into a capsule, and you know what? I kinda had a much easier time with this fight than the one in Mega Man 7, which I'll talk about one day. Make sure to use a flash bomb on Wily's capsule, hit him enough times, and congratulations, you've beaten Mega Man 8. And the energy Dr. Wily used is also destroyed, but not before infecting Mega Man. Dr. Wily's castle is destroyed though, but with Mega Man still infected, Duo manages to come in and cure Mega Man of the evil energy, destroying the last bit of energy, thus ending Mega Man 8 and setting up for Mega Man 9. And thank God too, I'm glad this game is over. Well actually, there is one thing I should have mentioned before. In the Sega Saturn release of this game, players are able to fight Cutman and Woodman in this game, with Cutman being a secret boss, and Woodman being a midway boss in Searchman stage, which adds more value to the Sega Saturn version. Although sadly, this version of Mega Man 8 has never actually been re-released outside of the original Sega Saturn release, hence why the price for this game is so high. Mega Man 8 is a funny game, not in the sense that it's bad, but in a way that it actually makes me think that this game is okay at best. It took me nearly 6 damn years to eventually beat this game, and to be honest, I don't know how to feel about it. I started playing this game on the GameCube with the Anniversary Collection, then with the Legacy Collection on Nintendo Switch and PS4, and eventually installing it on my PS Vita and beating it there. Mega Man 8 has a lot of problems, but at best, I'd say it's more of a 6.5 out of 10. Now, is it the worst Mega Man game? No, far from it. I'd say it's more roughly in the bottom half of the Mega Man games when it comes to how good it is. More close to the middle of the list, if you may. It's strange to think about this game because a lot of people dislike this game, but in my opinion, I think it's alright for a Mega Man game. It's definitely not the worst of the bunch. There are worse Mega Man games out there. Would I recommend this game to anyone? Kinda. Despite it being okay, it can really be forgettable at times. The only thing I can really remember is the soundtrack and the aesthetic of this game, which Mega Man 8 excels at the most. If you're looking for a challenge, I'd say give it a shot, but if not, then the game is probably not for you. Maybe try playing another game in the series before diving into this one, I don't know. And that, my friends, was Mega Man 8, a funny game that has a lot of issues, but is still fun all around. Now you might be wondering, why did I choose to review this game first over the other games? I don't know, but perhaps one day I can maybe review more of these games. For now, I don't know if that'll be the case for a long while. But maybe I could play some Mega Man X4 while I wait for that time, maybe. Or so you think. I lost my copy of Mega Man X4. Whatever shall I do? Oh well.